So that why it's like Maham, this Mayaminka saying, if your object is not exist, mind is exist, that means like, then what your mind going to hold? Mind hold the object, okay? Object is not, if no exist, then mind nothing can hold. But if the mind hold the object, then object is emptiness, mind must be emptiness too. So this, the main point is like very simple level we have to think. If mind is like anyway no exist permanent, then everything is fixed a problem there. As long as your mind is like accepted permanent, then you talking about this object is like impermanent or emptiness or come from mind or it's not come from mind, mind seeing, whatever says all has these issues. Nothing is right to become.
Yeah, because permanent means unchanging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Maya Minka actually Maya is so impermanent and object is so impermanent. If you use the absolute truth logic, saying this kind of like truth is like use absolute truth logic. Nothing is like you cannot find like is correctly where to find anything. Yesterday we talked about the meditation like the thought is mind or thought is a separate of the mind. So you cannot have any answer for that because it's thought itself, mind itself, both are not exist. You use logic, absolute truth, both are not exist. Then whatever you say is like incorrect. Relatively, we can say, oh, thoughts arise from mind. So you can okay with that relatively, but you follow the absolutely, then using the absolute truth logic, using absolute truth logic, so mind and the thoughts cannot be same, cannot be separate. So that means actually thoughts also is not exist, mind also not exist. You cannot say, thoughts come from mind, minds thoughts in the same or separate. So today, like we say, is like what is it? The never happening, the get the child, right? So some never get the child, but then the child like talking about the qualities like that. Exactly
The
like,
bear, the barren woman.
yeah, bearing woman, the daughters, like, you're talking about the quality. Actually, bearing woman never have a child, but then how can you talk about the quality? So the using the absolute true logic, mind is no exist, object also no exist. Then you cannot talk about this is like actually it's come from mind or separate or this whatever says is incorrect. That the logically cannot approving. So now we're using the logic is absolute truth logic. If something need exist is like have to find absolute true logically have to find something. But absolute true logically cannot find anything inherently permanent exist there. Okay, so now we go to the teaching. So the verses, I see the 11. So caution first. So we will do the one by one or just I read. Meryl, you always make decision. Verses 11. Verses 11, chapter 9. Yeah.
Maybe it's good if we read the verse. Maybe it'll go in our head or my head. I shouldn't be speaking for everyone. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm happy to read it if you want, but that's about as far as I can get.
Okay, read Marilyn first questions. Marilyn.
Okay. Because an illusory person who kills or gives something to another illusory person has no mind, no evil or virtue accrues from his actions. Whereas if such actions are committed by a sentient being endowed with an illusion like mind, since the agent has a mind which can love and hate, merits and evils do accrue from his actions.
Mm. So yeah, that's we have to go first the question section.
Oh, read the question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the question was, nevertheless, if this were the case, would not the killing of a sentient being by another sentient being and the killing of an illusory person by another illusory person be equivalent evils? And would not charity between sentient beings and charity between illusory people be equivalent virtues? Do you want me to read the answer again?
No, that's a good answer. Okay. Yeah. So you understanding everyone okay for that sections? Question is clear, right?
The question's clear, but I just want to talk about it a bit just to make sure I understand. Like, is it because like we create negative karmic imprints if we kill someone? So even if we're illusory, we're creating a negative imprint? Like, I'm sorry, I feel really,
If we kill someone, yeah, then of course like the main point the Cheta matter and debating with like as question means debating with Maya Minka is always like same is illusory, then you kill someone, maybe no karma. So Cheta the Maya Minka answer is yes, illusory who has the mind, then you can have a karma. If it's illusory, is there no mind, then no karma. So like same is like you doing the game, game is illusory. So the killing, the fighting, killing, always people, kids using the game. The killing, the illusory didn't have a mind, so they don't have a karma. And if you kill the rare people, as illusory people, that has a mind, so that's why it has a karma. So it's karma is like if who has a mind has a karma, who didn't have a mind, no karma.
oh, so it's not us on the relative level. It's more like a game or a imagination or a TV show or something like that.
Mm. So the main point, Chitamatra asked question is everything is the same as a delusion. The Maya Mika say always the same as a delusion. Then Chitamatra says everything is the same as a delusion. Then if a delusion, we kill someone, maybe no karma, because it's a delusion. So in the dream you kill someone, there no karma, like same like that. It's if you kill someone, no karma. The Maya Mika said delusion has two difference. Some delusion has a mind, some delusion didn't have a mind. Who has a mind, you care that, you have a karma. Who didn't have a mind, you care that, no karma.
But if you kill someone in your dreams, aren't you creating a karmic imprint?
The create a karmic imprint, but no karma means like the killing result is like that result is like you go to lower realms. Create the karmic imprint and like no virtuous deeds is different.
If you keep it in the dream state, but what if you come out and you carry then, okay. Okay.
So some like say, I think kids play the game, like doing this, game, killing each other, fighting. This kind of like I think create the like karmic imprints is not positive, but actually they're doing that, they're not going to like any ways lower realms.
Right. But well, I guess I'm thinking of myself like before.
That's the like Shanti Deva here says like just delusion has two different. One delusion has a mind, one delusion have a divine mind, no mind.
Okay.
So then you have killing someone with a mind is have a karma.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
If this is all delusion, how do you know which one is which? Are you saying that as long that we have to, when we accept this relative level as true, even though it's not true, those are the people we're not allowed to hurt, but the ones that we accept as not true in our relative world are okay?
That's I didn't get Mary. What can you say again?
Well, if this whole world is an illusion, how do you tell which is the delusory person?
Who has a mind, that is a delusory person. Who didn't have a mind, that is a no delusory person.
How do you know? How do you know if anybody has a mind or not?
But mind doesn't exist.
Does get a bit confusing, I'd say.
Okay, too much go over sometimes.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. Slowly go
Let's
again.
just say that we all
That
accept
mind
this
does not
relative
exist,
world.
but illusory
These are
mind, but
mindful people.
who we think who has a mind, that is a delusional mind. Who has that? So that's one, you know. Actually, mind no exist. That's true, Mary Lane. But we have a delusional mind. Okay, so that's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Mary, can you read the next one?
Ed had a question, Kempo.
Yes.
Does emptiness exist?
That's the answer is coming tomorrow. Yes. It's a very good one. They're coming. That exactly. So we get that you get answer. Today is we talk that is like become more confused again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow for sure.
You'll be here tomorrow. That's why I can answer tomorrow. I'm 100% sure we have that tomorrow. If no tomorrow comes next Saturday, Sunday, either of days. The answer is all here. Is in this book coming.
I have a question, Kempo.
So first, just like say, if something never get birth, then they have a death or no? No birth, no death, right?
Exactly. Right.
Okay, then no emptiness there too. Yeah, so that's you don't have a right. Then how can you have a left? So exactly. So emptiness is no exist because first things no exist means like you don't have exist things. Then you cannot say that like emptiness exists.
Okay.
Okay, Mary.
Okay.
I had a quick question, Kempo. So you said in this question, is it who is debating the Satantrika or the Chittamatra, or are both of those in there?
The debate is with the Satantrika.
Oh, okay, okay. Because you said okay. Thank you.
Mary.
Tempo, can I ask you something too?
Yeah.
Okay, so did Shanti Deva live and teach at the same time as Saraha?
Oh, Saraha is more before than Shantideva.
Oh, okay. Because he has the same teaching about you can't kill, you can't kill people just because of emptiness.
Yeah, so of course, like we cannot kill people even you have emptiness realization. And Saraha is like, see the Nagajuna's Saraha is Nagajuna's disciple, I think. Or Nagajuna's teacher or something, I don't remember exactly. So anyway, that time, 20 devas after that. No, Mary, you can get finally.
Okay. Question. If ultimately all sentient beings are by nature in the state beyond sorrow,
You doing?
what?
Because
Isn't that-
I, it's 12. You are 12, Mary.
Isn't that the one right after the illusory person killing somebody? The bottom of this page?
Verses 12.
It's
No,
in
the 12 is in the, oh, go ahead, Sandy. You were gonna say, go ahead.
Mary, it's in the
Oh, it's
same
this
paragraph.
one. Okay, I see it. All right. So, because the mantras and so forth that cause illusions do not have the ability to produce minds, illusory minds are not produced from them. Whereas the cause for sentient beings do have the ability to produce mind. Although false, the different illusions that result depend upon different causes. In this way, the illusions that arise from a variety of different conditions also vary. They are produced from different causes, but nowhere is there one condition which has the ability to produce all the effects.
Yes. So you can get answer. Can you explain, Mary?
I'm not, well, apparently mantras were sort of magicians or something. I don't know. I don't know this, but were able to cause illusions. So they were like magicians. And so they produced illusionary illusions of an elephant disappearing or appearing, something like that. And they weren't, they had no, they weren't sentient because they were produced by a mantra, I guess.
Mantra no produce the sentient beings.
They didn't, the mantra did not produce a sentient being. He produced an illusionary thing that looked like a sentient being.
Produce sentient beings.
He what?
Technology cannot produce the sentient beings.
Correct.
Okay, so that's it, yeah.
That's
There's some
what I,
sentient beings produced by the emotions.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so then, so then sit 1 minute. Okay, so many this different kind, like contradictions. So create different kind, the appearance of delusions. But one condition cannot create like the anything. One condition cannot create. So that's why it's another is where one condition which has the ability to produce all the effects. Nowhere is the one condition which has the ability to produce all the effects. So that is the big thing. Creator gods or mind permanent cannot create all these conditions. No possible. One condition cannot produce anything. So many different kind of condition producing things, but cannot produce the sentient beings. They have different conditions. Yes.
So no emotions, no sentient beings are produced.
Yeah. The sentient beings produced by emotion. So then all sentient beings has emotions. So like something you can technology create something, no emotions, because it's no sentient beings, right? And then here is like ancient, I'm talking about the mantra. So there's some magical people use mantra and pieces of something, wood or some, anything they create like elephant, like tiger or many different kinds they can create. But actually they're all delusion, but they're not really true, they're rare.
But if sentient beings did not have emotions, they would not create.
Yeah, then it's
sentient
liberating.
beings.
Yeah, sentient beings are liberating. With no emotions. So
Oh,
that's
good.
also coming more tomorrow, like how to liberating, you know. Yeah.
So question on that question, does emotions produce mind or does it produce sentient beings?
Emotion produce actually sentient beings.
Sentient beings, not mind.
The mind is in there, you know, sentient beings has a mind, right?
Sentient beings produce mind. Emotions produce sentient beings. Is that the way?
Can you say again? That's logic. What do you say?
So if emotion produces sentient beings, then sentient beings must produce mind.
Oh,
Otherwise, what would produce mind? And then how would emotion become a part of mind?
no, no, it's just the emotion produce sentient being means where does emotion come from?
Mind.
The mind produce emotion, emotion produce sentient beings, right? Other way.
Could be. I'm asking.
Main point that because whatever goes away is like use the absolute true logic. You cannot really have a truth and correct anything. The meaning is like anyway, like you know, no really exist. No permanent source. That's why. If it's something permanent source, then you can point, right? Oh, this is the source of this. But we don't have a source permanent. That's why this all is like whatever says is like incorrect. Hmm.
Okay. I just want.
The main point here is like when Yamika debating with them is like that. Just Yamika say, anyway, this you know magic, mantra, technology, whatever they create things that they don't have a mind, they don't have the ability to produce the mind. So mind is produced by emotion. They say that, but then it's actually also emotion. Really, research is emotion also not produce mind. Mind not produce emotion, or it's emptiness go to them. So we just whatever we say here is like try to finding something, right? Source. Miami going back to know any source.
So then, just to clarify, in my notes, I had sentient beings create mind and afflictive emotions produce mind. So that would, none of those would be, that's not the way that it would go. You
Yes,
can't point.
temporarily okay to say that, but actually not really use the absolute truth logic cannot follow that direction too.
So I think that's another question is when we talk about these, are they debating on the absolute level only, or is there a portion of relative that's brought into the debate?
Absolute truth logic.
All absolute truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That helps.
Can we say that mind produce emotions, emotions produce consciousness?
Your voice very soft, cannot hear.
Can we say that mind produce emotions, emotions produce consciousness? Like emotions produce sentient beings and sentient. Hello?
Yes. So we can hear and yeah, it's said that it's a
I think she got
relatively.
cut out. She'll be back in a minute, I would think. No.
Okay, so then we go to the next one.
I got one. Is it true? Is it correct to say that mind, emotions, and sentient being is all dependently arisen and they do not inherently exist? Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that's a correct statement. Yes,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, so now.
Can you repeat that, Ed?
I asked the question, is it true that mind, emotions, and sentient beings are all dependently arisen and they do not inherently exist?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So Sandra, can you do the 13? Verses 13.
Nowhere is there one condition which has the ability to produce all the effects. Question, if ultimately all sentient beings are by nature in the state beyond sorrow, i.e. nirvana, although deceptively they are in cyclic existence, then for the same reason, it goes to 14, right? Since in terms of appearance, the Buddha would be in cyclic existence, what would be the use of a bodhisattva's way of life? Am I reading the wrong one?
No, you read it like say through the question is okay. From the question, yeah. If automatically all sentient beings are nature in the state beyond, so that's yeah, you did it. So you're going to explain?
That's funny.
I think you didn't do the question, the answer, Sandra. It's kind of mixed up. Like
It just keeps going, then it blends into 15. I just don't know where to stop.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it starts at question and then answer.
Okay, so answer, if their conditions are not discontinued, even illusions will not cease to be. Likewise, since sentient beings have not discontinued the conditions for cyclic existence, they are in cyclic existence. But the Buddha has discontinued these conditions. Even deceptively, he does not exist with the nature of one in cyclic existence. Okay, let's see. So it's like saying that human beings, sentient beings are illusory. They're deceptively existing in cyclic existence. But the Buddha also appears here in cyclic existence. So that's kind of one question. Why does the Buddha appear in cyclic existence if he's beyond nirvana, if he's beyond samsara? And one of the things you said was that, from the Buddha's perception, he doesn't really move. His perception is that he's in the Dharmakaya, in absolute truth, in beyond samsara or nirvana. And then other people, the rest of us, may perceive him as a nirmanakaya, or maybe the bodhisattvas perceive him as a sambhogakaya. So people perceive them differently, but he perceives himself in Dharmakaya. So without moving, he sort of projects. He's projected into this realm, and we perceive him here. So there were two types of omniscient wisdom: absolute omniscient wisdom, and then I don't know. My notes go kind of, I don't know. So that's what I have. I mean, I think the Buddha, he has discontinued, the conditions, the interdependent arising to arise in samsara, but we may perceive him here. He's here to help us. And so he doesn't exist here, really, I guess, on the ultimate level. I don't know. Please help.
Yeah, so you did mostly questions. The answer, answers. The question is like this comes from the Vibhashika Satantrikas. So they debated with Mayamika, Shanti Deva here. And Shanti Deva talked already up there, two truth, the difference, right? So relatively true is like, conceptual thoughts. Then there's a Buddha has a conceptual thoughts because he knows all other beings. He have a perception. So long as Buddha has a perception, then Buddha is in the relative truth. So then he is in the samsara, in cyclic existence. So if this Buddha is then not liberated, the nirvana. So then that's the reason they say this teaching way of Bodhisattva life is useless. So that is the the question is. Shantideva answer is like the main point you just talked that is the answer. And if we have this contradictions, you know, if a contradiction is until discontinued, it's kept going samsara. One day then discontinued, then free from samsara. So the one is very easy to understand. Another way is this section also complicated too. Very simple way. The question is also very simple actually. The simplest question is they said Buddha has perceptions or no, appearances. The Buddha has appearances or no. We say Buddha has appearances. Then they say, oh, Buddha is a samsara. Then why is in samsara? They say, oh, the relative truth is a perception. So then relative truth is a samsara. Then Buddha is a samsara. Okay, so then Buddha is stuck in samsara. Then why is nirvana? Then you practice the way of Bodhisattva. Even Buddha also in samsara. Then how he can get nirvana? So this way of Bodhisattva practice is like try the practice. The result is wanted to get in the nirvana, but Buddha has a perception. He is the perception means in samsara. He is in samsara. Then your practice is useless. So that's this debating. And the Shantideva answer is yes, Buddha has perceptions, but the perception is not his own perception. That is like just follow the others' perception. He recognizes others' perception, but not his own perception. And also, the samsara connection is disconnected. Then Buddha is like you can free from samsara. If samsara connection is kept going, then not discontinued. That means like then kept going against samsara. So that's the condition, right? Okay, so that's enough, no?
Could I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
So you're saying that the answer is the Buddha doesn't have his own perception of appearances in samsara. He recognizes other beings' perceptions through his omniscience?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have another quick question. Is Buddha nature beyond mind?
Buddha nature is beyond mind. So actually mind is Buddha nature. Buddha nature is mind. And the mind, you know, when deluded, then we call consciousness. So mind nature is called Buddha nature. So you can say beyond means like if right now, of course, there's no conceptual consciousness. More beyond that nature is.
All right.
All right. Question? Yes, within yes.
So you said that mind, when deluded, becomes conceptual consciousness.
It's we call consciousness means like yeah, consciousness means like mind deluded means like subject and object. So that mind is called consciousness. And then the mind no holding the consciousness like into the nature. So that is called Buddha nature.
The nature is not consciousness, it's a container of the consciousness.
Continue consciousness.
Like Buddha nature is not consciousness. There's not an aspect of consciousness that is Buddha nature. No. Consciousness is subject object, is dualistic.
Yes. Buddha nature is non-dualistic. So when mind projecting object is consciousness, called consciousness, subject and object. So mind not project any object, is stay in the nature, no draw. So that's called Buddha nature. Yeah, that's called absolute truth.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question about Buddha
Uh-huh.
nature? Because at one point you said Buddha nature didn't really exist permanently, but if
Yes.
I don't understand that, because if we don't have any emotions, we clear it all away. How can the Buddha nature change? If you don't have afflictive emotions and you don't have subject and object, how can your Buddha nature not be permanent?
Can you say again? Sorry, I didn't get.
Okay, so if you become a Buddha, if you become enlightened, you don't see subject and object, you have non-duality, and you don't have emotions. So why did you say that Buddha nature isn't permanent? Because if that's all gone, then how can it change?
So that's gone means like all the conceptual and the emotions are gone. Then you mean nature is there, right?
Yeah,
So
but
nature there is emptiness, no permanent. Then
Buddha nature is, I thought we all had Buddha nature and it was there no matter what. It's just all
that,
our,
but no matter what, that is empty. So that's the we debating with the chitta material, like is coming. Exactly what you're saying. That thinking like that.
okay,
That thing mind is permanent, must be permanent there.
but it's
So
not.
other all is like must see emotions, the thoughts, the perceptions are gone. So the source, the way actually soul reality is they called the like consciousness, the no consciousness. What they call they're using different kind of self arising or self consciousness or something. So that mind, that thing is permanent, but Shanti Deva here talking about that mind is not permanent. It's coming. That is we just next is that one.
Okay. Thank you.
Chitta Material. And then okay, so now we go to Chitta Material. David B, can you read the Chitta Material? Caution, refuting this.
Is that me? Yeah, okay. Which are we talking about? Number 2, refuting the objections of the Chittamatrans. Is that where I'm beginning?
Yes.
That next section? Okay. So under number 2, refuting the objections of the Chittamatrans concerning ultimate truths. So the Chittamatrans are the followers of the idealist mind-only school of Mahayana Buddhism, who maintain that no external objects exist. For them, the mind is not conditioned by an object of a different nature than itself. Rather, the mind and its object are in one nature and are only nominally distinct. The mind is regarded as truly existent, whereas external objects are denied. To establish the true existence of consciousness, they possess self-cognition, a non-deceived aspect of mind that has the function of being consciousness of only consciousness itself. Do you want me to stop there?
Yeah, so yes, you can explain can you explain that part?
Well, this was, I know that you had said that this was just kind of an overview of the Chittamatran school, the mind-only school. And basically it comes down to the Chittamatrans, they are mind only, and that mind is permanent, and appearances come from that mind. So the mind exists, and the appearances do not exist because they are an aspect of mind. Is that correct? Am I correct so far, or is that all right?
Yeah, the chitta material has two types of chitta material. So this is the first one called
Okay.
namjengpa. Namjengpa means the appearance is the first means like no exist.
Okay. Okay. So that's the first
Not
one.
from the mind. The means from the first one chitta material. The appearances that didn't accept to come from mind.
Right. The first one, the appearances do not exist from mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And so here the Chittamatran, they have a source. The source is mind, and you must have the mind in order to have the object. That would be the second type of Chittamatran then.
Second type, what you can say again?
Were you referring to the second type of Chittamatran, that you have, that the mind is the source, and then to have an object or a delusion, you have that the mind, the delusion is coming from the mind?
Yes.
Okay. So you have two types.
Yeah, two
One
types.
type says, one type. Mhm.
The first one is called Tibetic or namjengpa. Namjengpa means like this mind is permanent, but whatever effort to the mind, the object is like no truth. It's no exist. It's a delusion. So no really that didn't accept is mind.
Mhm.
So that's one. The first one. This is the first one.
This is the first one. Okay. And then you gave an example, but I didn't catch the whole example of a hair being in the eye.
Mm.
You talked about an example of a hair being in the eye.
The example is sometimes like you see the like kind of hairs in your going on somewhere here, so you try to get out, but not really exist there here.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Or like that, some people like in the see the hairs in the cups, like try to get out, but no hairs there. This is like all become the deluded mind, something wrong in the eye. So like that, there's this appearance is not exist. That just effort to the mind, but it's actually delusion, no exist.
It doesn't exist outside the mind. Okay, that's very helpful. And yeah, the mind is, I had here, the mind is truly existing and there's no external object. Okay, that
Yes,
makes
that's it.
Mhm. And then you kind of when you were talking about this a little bit, so that kind of explained, I guess that was the Chittamatran mind school only, and you're saying that there are two types, but this is describing the one.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. That helps out a lot. And then, but then you went on to kind of explain some things with the Madhyamaka. The Madhyamaka had no subject and no object, and all was emptiness. And permanent can't create, and mind is non-dual, so emptiness mind would create. So, but with Chittamatran, that would not be the case.
Mm. Okay, so that's correct. Yeah. So now then go to Chittamatran. If not, so that is the Chittamatran view. That just view is that explained. So now it's like teaching. Is like teaching means the main teaching is starting the Chittamatran. If no deceived consciousness exists, then what mind can refer to the illusion like appearances? So if mind no exist, then which one going to receive these appearances? Who going to receive the delusions? Who can receive these appearances, right? Correct, that's Chittamatran. If no deceived consciousness exists, means like Mayamika say consciousness no exist.
Right.
So this Chittamatran say, if consciousness no exist, then what mind can refer to the illusion like appearances? Which mind can receive these appearances?
They say they're not real.
Yeah, but this is a Chitta Materen saying, right?
Correct. Mhm. Did you want me to go on and do that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So if so, they would say that the mind doesn't exist, and then since mind doesn't exist, would say if there's no mind, then they're not real. And Madhyamaka had said, but if illusion like external objects are not real for you, what can be referred to? So in this one, the Madhyamaka was saying, let's see, if illusory, so if it's illusory, they're saying then what would the mind see?
So no, then go to another Chitta Matera. Next is like but if illusion like external object are not rare for you, what can be referred to? Chitta Matera or those. So my Yamika answers is, but if illusion like external object are not rare for you, what can be referred to? Then if illusion is not exist, what your mind going to holding, you know? If you don't have a right hand, how can you have a left hand? The main point is, how you don't have a mother, how can you have a child? So your mind is, like say, illusion is not exist, then how can you have a mind? Because dependent each other, right? So that's the answer. The Maya Minka answer is. So no another Chitta Materin. So another Chitta Materin going to debate again with the Shanti Deva. So other Chitta Materin say, yeah. So I have a point. You know, I don't accept like other Chitta Materin what it says. This Chitta Materin says like this appearance form is also mine. Mine is appear to form. Form, mine is the same, so the both are mine. Although external objects do not really exist, see, consciousness does truly exist. That's a external object is not truly exist, but consciousness exists. Therefore, since the image of object which appear to consciousness are the mind itself. See, all this appear form body also mind itself. They are suitable to be referred to by consciousness. So then that is all is consciousness. And no Madhyamaka 17, Amanda, can you do the 17?
Yes. Ayamaka 17. If the mind itself and the illusion-like objects are one substance, do you want me to start there, Kimpo?
Yes, yes.
If the mind itself and the illusion-like objects are one substance, then since there would be no beholder and no behold, what object would be beheld by what mind? It has been said by the protector of the world himself that the mind does not have the ability to behold the mind. 18. Just as the blade of a sword cannot cut itself, likewise the mind cannot behold itself. Okay, so the Madhyamaka view is that it's not possible. Buddha said mind cannot see mind itself. Mind cannot behold itself, just as a sword cannot cut itself. And the Chittamatrans say that mind can see itself. I think that's all I have.
Yeah, so anyone has a question there?
Yes, is that what we mean by emptiness?
Yes, so if mind is permanent exists, then mind cannot see mind. So actually mind first cannot produce the object if mind is permanent. And secondly, mind is permanent, cannot see the self. So in this section, if Chitta Matera except no permanent mind, then this all possible. So that's the reason why this morning I share with you the some Yaminka teachers best to own this Chitta material view. They said this is the highest level relative truth. Highest level relative truth is like this all appearing form is come from mind. So the relative truth has many also different levels. Appearance relative truth is like worldly people seeing what worldly people thought. That is just appearing relative truth. And reality, relative truth is Chitta material here what this says. All this like really investigate all this relative truth is actually come from mind. This is a really deeper level relative truth. And then the Chitta Madhira says is the problem is the mind is permanent. So Yaminka teachers, some see best on this one. They don't accept the mind is permanent, but they accept the appearances come from mind. So that is the highest level relative truth, deepest relative truth. If you go more beyond it, that is called absolute truth. So now here, the Chitta Madhira problem is just the mind is permanent. Then long as your mind is permanent, then you cannot first project the object, appearance. So then also mind cannot see the mind because it's a permanent. Same is like see soul cannot cut the source, like what this says. Okay, just as the blade of a sword cannot cut itself. So you cannot touch your own fingertips. Another finger can touch this fingertip. This fingertip cannot touch their own fingertip. So like that. Okay, so that means like you cannot see yourself. And you cannot touch yourself. You cannot cut yourself. Like the means point is like cannot touch in this finger point their own. And another finger can touch it.
Kempala, since mind cannot see mind, is that why we need the Vajra master to do direct introduction and like Rigpe Salwang? Then Vajra master acts as the mirror so that we can finally see mind itself? Is that correct?
But this section is different, totally different way. So,
that's up into Vajrayana.
First you know the mind is not permanent, then you can introduce the natural mind. But it's first you don't know your mind and the emptiness, then you cannot introduce the mind nature. The Chitta material is like except the mind is permanent, then cannot introduce. So this is like actually introducing Yamika introducing mind nature. This mind nature is if permanent, then it's useless. You no exist actually.
Then it'd be static and unchanging, and it wouldn't function, right?
No functions. So actually, permanent is useless. So usually we think emptiness is useless. Like our perception is emptiness is useless, but logically approving permanent is useless. Emptiness is like no nothingness. That's why all the sources come from. The way thoughts like permanent exist. That's why all this exists. Everything logically approving other way. Logically approving other ways like this, everything is no exist permanently, no inherently, or is emptiness. That's why approving everything exists. It can produce everything.
Would it be correct to say that if Dharmakaya is the analogy is space, and we need space to be able to move and function, then that if everything were static and unchanging and permanent, there would be no way to grow or anything like that. And so that's why we need emptiness. Emptiness is like, you know, pure potential, the potential for anything to occur, and therefore everything can function.
That's I didn't get. Can you say again?
So if the analogy for Dharmakaya is space, and we need space in order to be able to move, we couldn't move, we couldn't be able to grow or do anything.
Dharmakaya is like example is a space. And Dharmakaya itself is no space. Dharmakaya itself means just emptiness. The reality, truth.
Yeah. It's an analogy for lack of a better understanding. But what I was trying to say is emptiness is not just like vacuum or nothingness, right? It's a state of like pure potential, isn't it?
What
Where
means
anything can happen, anything can occur and arise out of emptiness.
what is pure potential means?
But it's potential to manifest everything. It can manifest everything.
Can manifest
Anything can arise out of it.
Yeah, then that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now we go to next one. Next one. Most still is no video on I cannot see. Curtis, can you do the next one?
So, you want me to start with Chitta Matra and just as alike completely?
It's verses go 19.
Okay. Madhyamaka, 19.
Verses 18.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, it's 19. I say 19. Yeah, 19.
I think you have to read the Chittamatran though, Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just start Chitta Matra, and if it's a little overlap, it's not going to hurt us. Chitta Matra, just as a light completely illuminates the self, so does the mind know itself. Madhyamaka, 19. The light does not illuminate itself because something that is to be illuminated has to first of all be unilluminated. But as soon as the light is lit, it is never obscured by any darkness, i.e. unilluminated. Help me out, Kempo. I follow the logic. I'll put that far. You know, you turn on a light, you know, does it dispel darkness? Is the darkness not existent when the light comes on? You know, it's more than semantics.
Good, Percy, can you have Curtis?
That's a good idea. Thank you.
Good, Percy.
Oh, no, I'm sort of listening to everyone and I don't have much to say at this moment.
Okay. So
can I have a lifeline to Sandra? Sandra can help me.
Okay, Amanda can help for you.
I'll do my best, Curtis. I just have notes. So I have that the Chittamatrans think that just as a light can completely illuminate itself, the mind sees itself, it knows itself. And the Madhyamaka response, Shantideva's response is that the light does not illuminate itself. Light actually is never in the dark. It never gets unilluminated. So light is never obscured by darkness. And the main point is if there's no birth, then there's no death. So mind never exists. So how can it see itself? How can it know itself? Those are my notes. I don't fully understand that, but that's what I wrote down. Thank you, Kempo.
That's perfect. Okay, so then next one. French and Gabriels. Can you hear? French? We cannot hear, right? Okay, cannot hear. DBA. Can you do the Chitta Martin rings?
Stuff, yes. Take, for example, two different kinds of blueness. Blueness that appears in dependence upon another blue colored object, like the blue reflected in a clear piece of glass. And blueness that does not appear in dependence upon something else, like the natural color of blue in lapis lazuli. Likewise, some objects, such as jugs, depend upon other things, such as lights that illuminate them. Consciousnesses that know them, whereas such things as lights and feelings of pleasure and pain are beheld without any such dependence. I don't know, that seems like a really weak argument to me. It just does. But the Madhyamika response is, this is not so because since the blueness of lapis lazuli is established as blueness as soon as it comes into being, it is not something which previously, having not been blue, makes itself blue. Therefore, this example is unsuitable to illustrate self-illumination in self-cognition. Do I stop there or keep on going? I guess. Conventionally, upon being perceived by consciousness, it can be said that a light illuminates itself, but ultimately, upon being perceived by what it can be said that the mind illuminates itself. Thus, the example and what it illustrates are not comparable. Probably where you'd stop. So, going back a couple of to the page before, basically what the Chittamatras are saying is that mind is permanent, and there are like these two aspects of mind. One is the deluded part of mind that is not aware of the true nature of reality, and the other part, which is always self-aware, always knows what it is. And that kind of construction, it's I don't even know how to explain it. If you take that as a central position, then the reality that we know, it produces two very different types of reality. And the Chittamatran argument kind of collapses on itself. It's like you have to invent two aspects of mind. Despite the fact that mind is permanent, it has two aspects. One which can change and the other one which doesn't. So I will freely admit that I find this this structure confusing.
No, it's there. Chittamatara just still they kept going debating again. They don't give up. You know, Madhyamika still debating. So they give another example. Another example. See, that just color blue. You know, one is just create blue, dependent other, and one is just independently blue. So lapis lazuli, they have two blues. So like that, the same as lapis lazuli, they're naturally they're, you know, how to say, the independently blued, right? Like that, the mind can you know, the main point is like mind can itself can see the like, mind can, you know, the same as light completely eliminates itself. So same like that, the mind knows itself. Same as like lapis lazuli, itself independently, nature. So Madhyamika said they don't have independently nature, or it's a dependent. everything is dependent. There's so many causes, conditions, and then nothing else permanently nature. There's one. She already told like one condition cannot create anything. You know, everything. Like one condition cannot create everything. So like that, the the blue also like dependent, not permanent.
It's not, definitely it's not permanent. And
It's just dependent, you know, not independent blue.
in the Chittamatra argument, such things as lights and feelings of pleasure and pain are beheld without any such dependence. I don't see any evidence that that's true at all. Those things, lights, feelings, pleasure, and pain, are very dependent, just as you said.
So you mean the lapel lazuli is very dependent?
It is. And then they're also saying that.
Okay, so I tell you, the lapel lazuli is like dependently where is arising?
It exists because of a bunch of atoms being manufactured in a bunch of stars that come together, and
It does is not dependent, right? It's come together means dependent. Yeah, I mean not independent. It's dependent.
Yeah, there is no independent, non-interdependent thing in the universe.
See, everything is dependent, right?
Everything is dependent, but if you say everything's dependent,
they also like dependent. My Amiga said not independent. It's dependent.
Yes.
So then my Amiga truth.
Yeah. No, I think and that's why I'm asking you, because to me, the Madhyamika, it's obvious. And sometimes I look at that and like the Chittamatra argument isn't really that strong. They're kind of easy to knock down.
So Chittamatra is like comparing to my Amiga is a baby.
Yes, yes, it does. But you make big mistakes.
Okay. So now we go to the 21. Evia. Evia, are you there? 21, can you explain 21? Just similar idea.
Upon being perceived by consciousness, it can be said that a light illuminates itself. But ultimately, upon being perceived by what can it be said that the mind illuminates itself. Thus, the example and what it illustrates are not compatible, since ultimately neither self-cognition nor other cognition are established as truly existent. No mind at all. Oh, whoops. So I think it's just referring again to Madhyamika's view that the power of consciousness to be aware of itself is inherent. So it's self-illuminated, not because of anything outside of itself, but because that is something inherent in what it is, in just being consciousness. Consciousness is self-illuminated, self-aware, not like dependent on anything else, like you're saying.
Yeah, so then it's just the kept going the debating. Chittamatra says light completely eliminates itself. So then also this says like the mind knows itself. So then Mayamika say, which mind knows that? Is mind knows itself is which mind knows that? Then you have another evidence. Then you have another evidence. Then it become, like endless evidence become.
So Madhyamika would say there's no mind.
Yeah, no mind.
Right, no mind knows that. It's just self-illuminated. Is that kind of?
Self-illuminated, also it's emptiness, not permanent.
Right.
Yeah.
Does the light illuminate itself?
Yeah, this always a going debate. It's a similar idea.
Does it really? I mean, like, how does a light illuminate itself? I mean, It doesn't even exist independently for one thing.
Well, the
Yeah.
tenet of that school
That's
is
the
that
problem is like Sandra say, if Chitta just say mind is emptiness, then it's eliminate itself. It's okay to say that. If the long as accept mind is not exist emptiness, itself is eliminate, then it's okay. But the mind is permanent, then it's eliminates. That is the problem. Then that's also seeing the object also mind. Then permanent, who can do that? The permanent didn't have the ability.
Kempo, can I read the explanation in Kempo Kumpel's commentary, Nectar of Manjushri's speech on that point? It's very, very clear, very brief about
No,
the
it's okay.
flame illuminating.
We have to go through this text, otherwise we cannot finish it if go other text.
I'm just saying about the flame illuminating itself. It sounds like people are getting confused and it's very clear. Up to you.
Which you have?
Nectar of Manjushri's speech, Kempo Kumpel's commentary.
How long?
It's just a couple lines to explain that one phrase.
Okay, read.
Okay.
Yeah.
A flame, in fact, has no need of illumination, for since there is no darkness in a flame, what is there to be illuminated? If it were possible to illuminate something even when there is nothing to be lit up, the absurd conclusion would follow that a flame would illuminate even the sun and moon. Furthermore, if a flame is the object of its own illuminating, the same could be said of darkness. In other words, that darkness obscures itself. Consequently, if an object such as a pot were placed in the dark, it would be the darkness itself that could not be seen, whereas the pot would itself remain visible. So basically, it's an absurd argument. The flame does not illuminate itself really, because if it could, then you could still see the flame when you put it up to the sun, but you can't. We all know this.
Make sense? Okay, so that's a commentary. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I have a
yes.
question.
Yes.
Sorry, I was asking that. What about omniscience? When someone, like we have the prayers where this master achieved omniscience or that master achieved omniscience. So omniscience, is that related at all to what you've been talking about with the Mayamika and the Chitta Matrin omniscience?
Omniscient is you.
Can you mute yourself?
Oh,
Okay, so what is going on again? The omniscient is nature, like actually realization, right? Realize means like you realize the mind nature. The mind nature is here is talking about, but we know that's why it's like if mind is permanent, then no omniscient there. It's omniscient is not, mind is not permanent, no inherently exists. That's why omniscient is arise. So
you're saying the mind doesn't inherently exist, so that's why there's omniscience?
Yes.
Cool. I don't know what it means, but I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of answer is like, I think it's more like we understand the emptiness, then you understand clearly. So no, Lisa, can you do the next one?
So
Are we at 22?
We are 22, yes.
No mind at all can behold a truly existent consciousness. Thus it is meaningless to discuss whether such a mind has the quality of illuminating itself or not. This would be like discussing whether the looks of the daughter of a woman are attractive or not. I really don't know what to say about it. I don't really. I read some today a little bit about cognition, and it's a way of knowing, but I don't quite get what they're saying, the difference between mind and consciousness. I think if I could understand that, I might understand it a little better.
Okay, so then someone can help for Lisa.
Yeah, I think if I understand, I was wrong. What I was saying to you, Kempo, I was wrong. I think I understand better now. Like what Jeff was saying, it's basically not a good comparison, and there's just no point in trying to discuss the mind that way. The way that the Chittamatrin is making the examples, it doesn't apply, and it's imaginary, just like the looks of the daughter of a barren woman is imaginary. It's exactly the same.
Yes.
It's not a good comparison. That's all they're saying. It's not a good way to think about it. So Madhyamaka is trying to help correct a view that's not true to reality. Is that better, Kempo?
Yes, that's also good too.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Thank you.
So could someone explain more about how the mind and consciousness are different?
Mind consciousness is the same, Sandra.
Consciousness is the same as mind? That's what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kempo, earlier in my notes, you have that the consciousness is a deluded mind. Is that correct statement?
Mind also say like just mind means like, you know, like delude means like subject and object, right?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
that's what you had said. Then it's deluded. So then is consciousness, are there two types of consciousness then?
No, it's just two names. The one mind. Mind consciousness is the same, right? No two consciousness, two names there.
Two kinds of mind, a relative mind and an absolute mind?
Absolute didn't have a mind. That's why the Madhyamika tried to approving no mind.
So are you saying then, what would the definition of mind be? And then what would the definition of consciousness be?
So who can explain that?
I mean, the definition of consciousness is a deluded mind. So what's the definition, which means it has subject and object, so therefore it's deluded. So consciousness is a name for mind. It's when the mind is deluded with subject and object. But then what would you call mind that's not deluded?
No, I didn't say mind is not deluded. Mind also subject and object. It's the same, you know, mind. Sometimes we call mind, sometimes consciousness. It's the same, right? It's the same English or no?
I think it's the same.
It could be, but I think that's kind
of like same and the Shiba. Same means thinking. Shiba means like understanding objects. So actually both are kind of just different aspect a little bit, but it's mean point the same.
So in these verses, could we exchange all the words for mind with consciousness?
Which verses?
In the verses that we're discussing, could that word mind be changed to consciousness?
So could be Shiba is like Shiba. It's, I think so. I don't know. That's English, you know. It's, I thought it's the same mind consciousness. No same. Okay, no same.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that
You have consciousness without mind.
yeah, but I think in
No.
this text, you're right. Not in other contexts, but the way this is written, I think you're right that mind and consciousness are being used interchangeably in you know, the way this person is writing.
Okay, we can think about that. It's, I don't know the, it's, you know, mind consciousness difference. Like I just thought it's similar.
Well, it very well could be, but it is important when we're talking about this that we all have the same definition of what we're recognizing mind as and what we're recognizing consciousness as. If those words are interchangeable and we're discussing them in that way, that's okay if we're all defining them the same. But if there are differences, then that could be lead to confusion.
Translator really he think, you know, use the mind. Maybe the just he thinks the mind is correct. I don't know.
Can we ask you?
Hmm.
Do both mind and consciousness are dualistic?
Which way?
They're subject and object, mind and consciousness.
Subject and object.
They're samsaric. They're deluded, no?
Yes.
Both,
yes.
mind and consciousness.
Yes.
And Buddha nature, what is it?
It's no exist one. Nature. No deluded.
Not deluded.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the here is the problem is like whatever we talk, so like, and then mind nature is go back to the consciousness, you know.
But is mind nature Buddha nature?
The mind is no exist. That is called Buddha nature.
Huh?
Mind is no exist. That is Buddha nature. Okay, like think about ice is a consciousness. Water is mind nature. Ice is mind, is a, water is a
What's the difference
nature.
between mind and mind nature?
Think about what is the difference ice and the water.
They're different thermodynamic states.
Huh?
They're different states.
Different state, but it's like ice, it can be water, right? Then that time what happened? What ice?
It melts.
So someone say, okay, this is ice. So someone say, no, this is no ice. This is water. What are you going to say?
It's both.
So no, it's like that time it's ice, right? The debating is like, okay, so Chitta Madera said, this is ice. The Maya Minka said, no, this ice is like not really the truth because it's just condition create. But reality is this water.
But Buddha nature is not object subject, subject object. Buddha nature is
Yeah, no subject, no free from subject and object. The mind, your mind is free from subject and object. That is called Buddha nature.
but it's not mind anymore. It's
Yes, no more. But the nature is can be, you know, like
when mind
free
is
from that.
realized, it becomes no mind.
Huh?
When mind is realized, it stops being mind.
Mind is realized.
When a state of enlightenment is a state of no mind.
Wisdom.
No mind.
It's not this you know, deluded mind.
But there's mind.
You cannot say that is mind. That is no mind means deluded.
So no mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's free from these concepts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Kempo, when you see, like you look around, you see like book, mirror, bird, tree, that's deluded mind. But if everything like merges and becomes non-dual, that's not deluded mind.
Yes, no door is no deluded. Yes.
Thank you.
So we're going to say mind and consciousness are the same, and they both are diluted and have subject, and because they have subject and object, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
So the non-diluted mind is the Buddha nature.
Buddha nature is not diluted.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Non-diluted mind is the Buddha nature.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Mm. Okay, so now we go to the, where is the next? Better we go through again. Chitta Materin. So 33. 33 is Tom Wazini.
I think it's 23, isn't it, Kempo?
Oh, 23, sorry. I'm already tired. That's why my eye cannot really see clearly. No?
Sorry, just wanted to check. I thought I missed something. A few verses.
Tom Wazer, please, can you read the 23?
Okay. If self-cognition did not exist, how would we be able to have a memory of consciousness? Since we could have no such memory, the existence of self-cognition is established by reason of its being a necessary factor in the process of the recollection of consciousness. Before I read the answer, they're all pretty weak straw man arguments, and it is surprising, I think, to some people here that they keep going after basically the same thing. But in reality, I think it's just a teaching lesson, and there is no Chittamatrin, there is no Madhyamaka, so to speak. Answer: there is no certainty of this without the consciousness experiencing itself. It is remembered from its relationship to the experiencing of other objects such as forms. For example, although the hibernating bear does not experience being poisoned when bitten by a rat, later from hearing the sound of thunder in springtime, he awakens and experiences pain. From this, he indirectly remembers that he must have been poisoned. The means whereby consciousness is recalled is similar to this.
Very simple way.
You can have a memory and still not have anyone permanently existing. No experiencer, nobody actually explaining what the memory was, even though the Chittamatrins are trying futilely to make it so that there's someone or something that exists permanently. It's just not going to happen.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, they just try to prove when permanent mind. They say if no permanent mind, then how can we remember what happened yesterday, last month? So something experience, how can we remember? The Maya Minka says, even you don't have experience, still you can remember, record again. Same as this, the hibernating bear. So they didn't have experience, but they recognize what happened last time. So that means without experience, still you can remember. So that logic or that using reason is not correct. That not 100% correct. Some is yes, relatively, but not 100% is true. So you use logic something proving, you must have to have 100% proving, not just 50, 60 proof. Okay, so now we go to Chitta Materin 24. 24 is David.
That's where we ended, Kempo. No, we went for. Sorry.
Oh, we ended there, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
Right.
Kimball, can I ask a question about the memory thing?
Yes.
Okay, so I understand this to say that we sort of construct memory. We make up a story that fits the circumstances we find ourselves in. So what about when we read that Buddhas can remember or Bodhisattvas remember their past lives? Are they literally remembering their past lives, or are they?
They remember because the mind is not permanent. That through the wisdom, this Chitta material you saying is mind permanent. That's why I remember. So other is like free from obstacle, mind is not permanent, arise wisdom, then understanding. This omniscient, truth, omniscient understanding previous life. But Chitta material tried proving the mind is permanent. So Maya Minka says just actually mind is no existed. Then whatever you says is like here is log of draw of brain warming, bearing warming are attractive or not, like that.
Kempo? Hello, Kempo?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what is non-dual mind?
Non-dual mind is non-conceptual. You know, your mind is not follow the object, resting in the nature. So that is called non-dual. Do you get?
Does it also mean that we recognize that without subject, there's no object, like without left, there's no right? Does that also mean that non-dual?
Yeah, that is just we're talking about, like, say, you know, mind using still say, or no right, no left. But this no draw means you have to meditate, like your mind free from all this fabricate and free from conceptual thoughts. Then that is meditation through. Then you understanding the non-conceptual, non-dualistic means. Not only just we saying like no right, then cannot have left. No, that's only the no door. No door means mind meditate free from all this dualistic thought, conceptual thoughts.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we're going to do then dedication. Curtis, can you do the dedication read?
Yes, sir. Emaho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewa-Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teyatsa, Pensandreya Awa Bodhanaya Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion, may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri the warrior realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the Dratri Kungpa, Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you, everyone.
you,
Thank you,
Kempo.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kempo.
Bye.
Karenche, Karenche, Karenche.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thanks, Kempo.